We'll take you to this now. Survivors of the 2023 fire at the Usindiso building living at the Denver informal settlement say their lives have still not improved. Some even say it would even be better if they could be returned to the burnt-out structure. 76 people were killed in the Marshalltown fire and close to 90 were injured. Since then, the court case against the self-confessed arsonist has begun. Let's take you now to Newzroom Afrika's Katleho Sekhotho, who's at the Denver informal settlement. Katleho, a good morning to you once again. Talk to us about how life is for those that relocated to that area on the outskirts of the Joburg CBD.
So now, Lady, we're right now standing in the Denver informal settlement, and this is where some of the survivors of the fire at Usindiso building were brought here not long after that fire in August 2023 and brought here, and it was supposed to be a temporary, living environment. But it's almost 18 months now and the residents here are not clear what happens to them. But some of the main issues that are highlighted by those living here is that crime is rife in this informal settlement. Many don't feel safe for themselves, for their children. And more than that, there are issues around flooding. When it rains here, we do see that there are cases of flooding, and so many residents have to sweep water literally out of their homes. So just to show you the situation here, there were some heavy rains last week, and it really affected the area in which residents, many of them had water come into their homes. As you can see there, a mattress which was brought outside, one of the, the structures brought outside because water came into the homes. And if one looks as well at the electricity connections here, the residents giving us an insight as to how dangerous it is as well when it rains, because these power connections so close to the homes, making it very dangerous for one to be cooking inside the house, and when this electricity is on, because the cables are so quite directly into the houses. And so this was, as we know from the city, supposed to be a temporary shelter. People have been living here for almost 18 months, and we're told by residents that it's not just those who lived at the Usindiso building, but those who also lived in surrounding areas in Joburg who were brought here. So it's not that all of the almost 400 people who lived in Usindiso, the survivors, came to the shelter. Others, as we spoke to some earlier on, living around the Usindiso building and being also left in some of the hijacked buildings actually in the Joburg city center. But to bring into the conversation, I do have with me Sis Thobeka. Sis Thobeka, you told us about an incident that happened to you last week Friday, in which you were shot. There was a shootout that happened here in Denver. Please tell us what happened and how are the living conditions here. Ungakhuluma sis.
Last week Friday, ngaba nenkinga, bengibuye emsebenzini ngakhumula ngomuntu okhumula impahla zomsebenzi, ngagibela embhedeni ngithi ngiyalala kancane ngiyaphumula ngoba ngumuntu osebenza ngokuhamba. Ukulala kwami akuphelanga ngisho 2 minutes mkhulu. Bexabana abantu laphandle, mabexabana abantu laphandle. Emva kwalokho kwaqhuma isibhamu, ukuqhuma kwesibhamu ibullet yokuqala iye yangena emkhukhwini, ngathuka ngashifta. Ingena ngala engibekise ngakhona ikhanda, ngashifta kwethiwa kwami, ngashifta esibili yangena yadubula mina la eduze kwembambo. And ibullet yakhona ayiqalanga emkhukhwini wami kuphela, iqale komunye umkhukhu yedlula komunye umkhukhu yangena kowami, yasuka kowami yedlula until le engidubulile okuyiyona estakhe kimi ngadubuleka ngalimala. Engifisa ukukwazi nokubuza kahle kahle ku government kukodwa ukuthi usilethela wathi i6 months temporary. Njengamanje asikho asiphephile njengoba silana. Siyesaba nathi kwathina. Usilethela wathi 6 months temporary. Kodwa ngokwenza kwakhona asiboni lutho, akunamnyakazo kuthule, sikhandelwe nogesi, ugesi wakhona useduze nasendlini. Magnet amanzi ayangena endlini. Ake sithi sonke asinayo imali yetofu. Ake amunye uyakhona ukubasa ngestofu lesabathi yini qha ilahle. Lo umuntu emepheke echokheka lapho kungena amanzi, kumanzi phansi uyapheka ngapha ngaphula istofu umuntu emechop kheka lapho ngicela ukubuza ukuthi ubungozi bungakanani abubonayo nabenzayo engifisa ukwazi kubo bonke laba abantu abangani nezihlobo abasilahlekela kuSindiso building abawu72 abekhona enough kuyena sizoze sizolimalalana khona sesilana emkhukhwini engifisa ukwazi uyazi into government bangaki abangasekho beshonela la emkhukhwini ngezathu ezahlukene ngoba bakhona bona abashonile hayi ukuthi ngoba kudubuleke mina abekho yini abashonile before bakhona abashonile uyakwazi yini ugovernment lokho ukuthi bangaki belinyazwa yini akasinakile kahle kahle akanankinga nathi nansi imvula iyaqala iyanetha kumele sisukume sime manje abangenambhede bamile njengamanje babamba impontshi zabo abazi bazolala laphi sacela ugovernment esenzele imizamo.
So there you've heard it, Naledi, a really, difficult situation here at Denver, in which Sis Tobeka was explaining there that she was shot last week during a shootout and that this place remains really unsafe for so many who live here, especially the children, and also the issue of electricity being so close to the homes. And the question is, 18 months on, if this was supposed to be a 6-month temporary accommodation, what's happening now to them? And they still don't have those answers forthcoming from the city.